Hello. In this video, we will show how to get the quantities for the deep foundations we add to the model. Now we click the Foundation Analyses button in the Analysis menu. This opens the Foundation Analyses window. Now let's switch to the Deep Foundation Drawings and Quantities tab. In this window, we first select the foundation we want to quantify from the list. Here we select Foundation 1. Now we define the material classes. Next, we click the Structural Properties button. This calculates the minimum reinforcement for the rigid column group under Foundation 1. Now let's review the quantity options on the right. Here we choose the quantity type we want to calculate. Now we start with the Pile Reinforcement option. Then we click the Quantities button. This calculates the reinforcement quantities for the rigid columns under the foundation. In this table, we see all reinforcement types, such as longitudinal bars, spiral bars, circular rebar, and Z-shaped bars. Now let's select the Concrete Quantity option. Then we click the Quantities button again. This calculates the total concrete quantity for the rigid column group. Now let's select the Drilling option and update the quantities. This calculates the total drilling quantity for the rigid column group. Now let's get the total quantities, including reinforcement, concrete, and drilling. After we select the Grand Total option, we click the Quantities button. As you can see, the total concrete, reinforcement, and drilling quantities are shown in the table. You can export all tables to Microsoft Excel by using the Export to Excel button. Now let's make the quantities more detailed. On the right, we select Detailed Longitudinal Reinforcement and update the quantities. Now we can see the reinforcement quantities for each rigid column. On the last row of the table, we also see the total quantity. In the same way, let's select Spiral Reinforcement and get the detailed quantities. As you can see, spiral reinforcement quantities are listed for each column. Now let's move to the Circular Reinforcement option. After we select it, we click the Quantities button. Now we see the circular reinforcement quantities for all columns, one by one. Now let's select Detailed Z-shaped bars. Then let's update the quantities. As you can see, the Z-shaped bar quantity is calculated separately for each column. Now we select Detailed Concrete and update the quantities. In this way, we see the concrete quantities for each column. To see the total cost, let's select the Estimate option and calculate the quantities. Here, the costs are calculated separately for items like reinforcement, concrete, drilling, labor, mobilization, and extra expenses. And the total cost is shown in the last row of the table. To change unit prices, we can right-click on this window and click Unit Prices. Now we click Apply and close this window. Now let's select Foundation 4 from the list and check its quantities. Because the rigid column group under Foundation 4 is jet grouting, reinforced concrete quantities are not available. For this type, we can only get drilling quantities. Now we select the drilling option. Before that, we click the Structural Properties button. With drilling selected, we click the Quantities button. As you can see, we get the jet grouting drilling quantity. Finally, let's see how to change units before calculating quantities. Now we close this window. On the main screen, we set the force unit to ton force in the Units section at the bottom right. Then we click the Foundation Analyses button again. Now let's calculate the quantities for Foundation 1 again with the new unit. After we select Foundation 1, we click the Structural Properties button. Then we select the Pile Reinforcement option. And we calculate the quantities again. As you can see, the force unit changes from kilonewton to ton force. We can see the same change in the other quantity types as well. Thanks for watching.